The sunshine we've had in July cannot hide the damage Cook residents sustained during June floods.
And Northern News Now's Madison Green spoke to a business that's still navigating the waters of what to do next and a state agency aiming to guide them in the right direction.
1 month after the devastating flooding in Cook, Minnesota, businesses are struggling with how to make their next move.
The problem is, like, you want to start fixing things, but you can't really get started until you know what you can and can't fix, how much it's going to cost, because I can't really start just buying supplies and realize I don't have enough money.
Ryan Horner owns the Comet Theater, a movie theater, coffee shop, and boutique downtown. The building is a 95% loss, but he doesn't know the number it will take to fix it.
Yeah, I'm guessing somewhere between $100,000 to $200,000, but I honestly, that's just a guess. I really don't know. I mean, I'm just purely guessing about what the actual amount might be.
Whatever the final amount is, the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation hopes to help with some of the relief by distributing Quick Start grants from a $4 million fund for economic development along the Highway 1 corridor, which is where Cook sits in northeastern Minnesota.
The loss to the tax base on losing these businesses, and when you're thinking of a small community like Cook that doesn't have very many commercial, industrial type businesses, it can be very impactful.
Whitney Ridlam with the IRRR says after meeting with businesses in Cook, the state agency is still trying to determine exactly how the funds will be dispersed. Meanwhile, Horner is working on his plan to bring the Comet Theater back in business.
Yeah, it's like stuff like literally everywhere. So I suppose we'll just work on one room and then, fix that and then work our way back to the theater.
With the hope of returning to normal next summer. In Cook, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
Madison, thank you. Now, the IRRR is hoping to hold a special meeting as early as next week to finalize the details of the funding and can start deploying those funds. Now, these funds will only be available to residents in Cook, and they're looking to utilize around $2.5 million.